What up, YouTube world? It's your boy Lucha, aka Matthew J. Brownlee, and I'm back with another Raw Talk. I almost said food review, but I was lying to myself and lying to you. But I do have a food thing that I gotta be doing. It's already made, but I gotta put it up. Gotta look out for that. But yeah, Raw last night, Monday, and it was good stuff. We crowned a new women's world champion in Becky Lynch, the one person who I kind of wish they didn't do, but it's all right. We'll talk about that later. Judgment Day seems to crumble the second Rhea Ripley got injured and left. As soon as that happened, Judgment Day's in the toilet. Gunther returns to Raw and said he is going to be the next King of the Ring. Uh, Brunson Reed wants Sami Zayn. Whole lot more. So we're going to get into it. Show opens up with "Ooh, so boom, boom, boom. Ooh, just me, Oos. Day one, it's just me, Oos. Day one, just me. Anyways, so Jay Uso comes out and said Jay Uso is now in your city, which everybody loves, and he, says all the good things that he uh, was a tag team guy. Nobody thought that he was able to do it. And now here he is, number one contender. Damian Priest comes out. Um, and at first, Damian Priest was like, he was throwing a little baby face in there. He was like, hey, Oos, hey, I've always said I got no problems with you. You and me, we cool, Oos. He's like, I told you this, but, I'm tell the peoples, so know that I'm honest. We had a match some time ago, and he was like, "You hit me so hard." He said, "I respected you ever since then." I said, "Oos." I was like, "You got my respect. It's drinks on me tonight." And he said he paid because because him and his brother Jimmy were on that bloodline stuff. So they were drinking, the bloodline money drinking. And then Jay Uso was like, I took an Uber, we took Ubers, we good Us. And he said there's something that he said. He said we're going to, I guess while he was Mr. Money in the Bank, he said, hey, we're gonna do it. Like me and you, we got this. We're gonna do it. He was like, one little thing. Not we didn't do it. I did it. Me. He was pretty much saying that, hey, you're good, but you're just gonna be stuck in tag team land. Where the world champion. He said, people like you, they feed you to people like me. So, as my first test, because a lot of times when a wrestler, when they win the big one finally, you know, to be a real champion, you gotta say you need one successful defense to prove that you wasn't a transitional champion or a paper champion or something like that. It's like they love you. The people love you. I like you, but you're like the machine just put you there as a first target for me to beat you, and he's like that's okay. That's okay. It's okay. But that's what's gonna happen at Backlash. I respect you, but you ain't gonna win this title. And then Jay Uso was like, "Dang, Us, I thought it was cool. I thought you was almost sincere." He was like, "Nah, what's gonna happen?" Um, he was like, "Well, first of all, that's not gonna happen." He said, "The only reason why you the leader, congrats to being leader of Judgment Day, is because mommy got injured." He's like, "Hey, how is mommy doing?" Tell her I said, "Ah," which is hilarious. Broke Damian Priest, which is kind of funny because Damian Priest and Jay Uso are probably like they're like the two like goofiest, unserious wrestlers ever. And I feel like they just make each other laugh. They were just trying to do a thing to make each other laugh. And he said, "Nah, I'm not." He pretty much was like, "No, you're not my. I'm not your first victim. You're my first victim. They're gonna feed you to me so I could be world heavyweight champion." And they were kind of looking at each other. But then JD comes from behind, and like Damian Priest was kind of moved Jay out the way, and then they were fighting, and then Jay goes to super kick JD, but JD gets out the way, ends up super kicking Damian Priest, and then so then he got laid out. JD and Jay Uso was kind of looking at each other. They were like, and Jay was like, "Oh, my bad, Us. Hey, hey, that's my bad, Us. That's on me, Us." He was like, I gotta go." And Damian Priest was not happy. So that's how that first segment ended. They go to commercial. They come back. They're in the back, and uh, Priest was pretty much like, "Hey, what was that?" He was like, I'm sorry." He was like, "You just talking about? I can't let him be talking about you, talking about mommy like that and stuff like that." It was like, "I got this. I don't need your help. I got it." And then Dom comes in the sling. He was like, "Oh, what happened to you?" He was like, "I got a little injured arm. That's on me." But I got and Damian Priest was so bad. He was like, "What happened to you? What's he doing here?" Judgment Day it's a shambles. It is. It just is. It was like, yeah, well, I was supposed to team with him, but arm is kind of messed up, so can't do that. So since I did the favor for him at WrestleMania, you know, he owed me a favor, and then Santos goes because of Santos Escobar. Santos is like, "Is there a problem?" And then Damian Priest was like, "Yes, clearly. Look at his arm. Obviously, it's the problem." He was like, "But you know what? Handle the business. That's what you're here to do. Handle the business." He's like, Dom was like, I already talked to Pierce, so everything is good. And JD was like, "Didn't talk to me." So that's a whole thing. And it was like, and then Pierce was just like, "Man, just go. Everybody go." And then JD tries to do the thing with Priest, and Priest is like, "Nah." So that's awkward. The next up, um, it is the the team of DIY facing Awesome Truth for the World Tag Team Championships. Um, DIY was a little aggressive, especially Tommaso Ciampa. He's like, obviously, they're all friends, they're cool, but you know, as Booker T says, it's all about checks and championships. And you ain't got the championships. You just lost your opportunity to be a champion because you're trying to be friends with DIY with Awesome Truth, and it costs you. And that's what happens. Um, final cool match. There was a lot of knee strikes, jumping knees. Tommaso Ciampa hit a pedigree on R Truth for a 2 count. Um, and they hit him with a, what was it called, the skull crushing something. Oh, the truth crushing finale. So it was like the R Truth does his thing that Ricochet does, the recoil type thing with the skull crushing finale, and they win. They go to try to shake their hands. Johnny Gargano, of course, shakes their hand. Tommaso Ciampa, nah, nah. Sits on the apron, kind of mad, not happy about it. And it is what it is. That's what happens. Next up, the Ring General is back. Gunther, he comes out. He said, "Hey, I know what you guys want me to do. You guys want me to come out here, bash my opponent, bash bad things about Sami Zayn. I'm over it." He's like, "For once, I carried that title for 666 days. I elevated the Intercontinental Championship to levels it's never seen, and in the process became the greatest champion in this illustrious history." He said, "Now he's not the target no more. He's gone on from being the hunted to be the hunter. He can do whatever he wants, and thanks Sami Zayn for alleviating the pressure that was on his shoulders. He was like, now I have a new goal. My new goal now is to win King of the Ring, and as King of the Ring, I'm going to be the king, and I'm going to go after any title that I want. If I want to go back to Sami Zayn, I go to Sami Zayn. Any other champion that I want to keep your head on a swivel, because I'm going to be coming for you, which is good because King Gunther, we like those. Of course, out comes it's a new day. Yes, it is. Uh, of course, Xavier Woods, what is the previous king to be king in 2021? I think it was him and Queen Zelina. He's like, nah, I'm the king. Me, I'm the king. You're not the champion no more. Where's your title? And they was like, Gunther, where your title at? Where your title at? Gunther, where your title at? Where your title at? Gunther, where your title at? Where your title? Gunther, where your title at? Hey, where your title at? So they was doing that to Gunther. That was cooking him. And then he was mad. Like, I ain't got time for this. You handle. The Gunther goes, you guys handle this. And the New Day was like, no! We already faced them and beat them. We don't want to do it again. No, 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 no. And it was like, you know what? Fine, whatever. It was kind of hilarious. Um, yeah. So they had the match. It was a good stuff, but it's not what happened at the match. It what happened after the match. So Gunther was sitting ringside. Uh, uh, Pat McAfee was saying the sweet stuff to Gunther while he was sitting there. He's like, he's back looking good, chiseled. Gunther was looking back. He was like, thank you, thank you. And they were saying some people call him hypocrite. He looked was like, nah, not me. He was like Michael Cole. Michael Cole was calling you a hypocrite or something like that. It was good stuff. But New Day wins. They hit the midnight hour, up, up, down, down. One of those special moves on Giovanni Vinci to get the win. Gunther not happy. Kind of stares a hole into uh, Ludwig Kaiser. And in my eyes, I was like, that was handle that type of look. That's what that look was to me. It was like, handle that. And so he leaves. New Day's like, we out of there. And Ludwig Kaiser, he picks up Giovanni Vinci. He's like, it's all good. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. You got it. No harm, no foul. He picks him up. And it is like, ah, beating him up. Mm, Yeah, he was whooping that ass. Put a beating on that boy. And then he does the thing, which I think he did to Kofi Kingston last time, where he has his head on like the steel steps or somewhere on the steel steps, and everybody, the talent, is like, "Don't do it! Don't do it! Get out of there! Get out of there!" He was like, "Oh, I got you! I got you! I got you!" So he goes on the ramp. Jason Jordan's there. And he kind of looks, just like, "Skirt, got him!" And then he runs, boom, drop kicks his head to the. So that's tough. And then as he goes back to the ramp, he exit out. He goes there. He's in Gorilla now. Everybody's looking at him. Gunther's there. Then they was like, and then he leaves. So this is what I think. This is what's going through my mind. I think they're taking uh, Giovanni Vinci, the my guy, my taking that guy out, and they're bringing back. They're bringing up Ilya Dragunov. I think Trick is going to beat Ilya tonight, and I think Dragunov is going to get drafted to Raw or SmackDown, whatever brand that Imperium is on, and they're going to be a thing. I feel like that's the move. That's what's going to happen. That's what I think is going to happen. It's going to be great. Or you can give me Ilya versus Gunther. That's gonna be good stuff. So next up, Drew McIntyre comes out. Um, Not happy. Again, he does all the things. He complains about him being champion, about having the title, and because the crowd was chanting CM Punk, CM Punk. So then he sits down. So he sits down in the CM Punk position, and then he's like, so he started to like, I don't get why you guys like CM Punk, and the crowd's chanting CM Punk. He's, he said, oh, and then they were doing the what chants. They were whatting him. He was trying to talk, and they were whatting him. And then he goes, say what if you sleep with your cousins? And they were like, whoa. He goes, you're all sick. And they all got mad, and then they stopped chanting what then? Yeah, they stopped the what sound then. Um, and then he was doing all that complaining, and then Sheamus comes out. Of course, it's a shameful thing. Lobster, hey! Oh, it was big pop for Sheamus, and everybody was like, oh, snap. So Sheamus comes out, and then Drew's like, and so he's looking at Drew, so he's talking to Drew's like, you're going to stand up, or you're going to sit there, you're going to stand up. So Drew gets up, he's like, thank you. I think I at least earned that type of respect. He's like, hey, me and you, we cool, we friends. But I gotta kick it to you. You is doing too much complaining. You out here worried about everything under the sun. It was like all I heard you do was complain about how uh, the bloodline screwed you, how you should be world champion, all the stuff. It's like I agree, you're right. And then at WrestleMania, you got it. You won the title. You did the big one. You did it in front of the crowd. You did it in front of your brother and your wife. You did it, and then you blew it, which is true. He blew it. He did it. All he had to do was, "Hey, Punk, I'm the goat. I'm out of here." But no, you got in his face and you stood there gloating. He said, "You got your ass beat by a one-armed Punk," and then of course Drew was like, "Okay, that's what we're doing. I respect it." So he goes, "You know what? Since we're being honest with each other, he's like, it's not just the internet as we talk about your little weight thing. It's the people in the back. I had your back because we're friends." He was like, "Who cares what they think?" He was like, "I care because I'm your friend. It's the truth." He was like, instead of it's like you say that we have a banger after banger after banger, but after you came back, it's look like you had burger after burger after burger. Which got Sheamus. Sheamus laughed a lot. He's like, "Oh, that was good. Oh, that's funny." And he said, "He's like, yeah." He's like, "Yeah, you're right." Um, he's like, He's like, "You right." He's like, "You can do that, but you." He's like, "I can." He said, "I can lose." He said, "I can lose weight." He said, "You can't lose stupid." And he's like, "You know what? I'm gonna be over there, and I'm gonna watch your back tonight." And it was against Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura versus Sheamus. Um, Good match, physical. Um, of course, Drew McIntyre was there. He was talking trash on commentary. And Michael Cole was like, "You're not supposed to be doing this." Like, I'm not telling Drew McIntyre nothing. Uh, it was fun. It was a fun match. Nothing crazy. Uh, Hard hitting, of course. Flash knees. I think the kneecap, which is what they're calling Sheamus's knee thing. He hit it twice, one outside, one on the inside for two. And then Shinsuke hits some knees of his own. He's about to come at him again. Boom, bro kick out of nowhere. Sheamus wins. He was like, after the match, they go backstage, and Sami Zayn's talking about Chad Gable. He was like, "You know what? I have all these emotions. I'm mad, mostly mad, but confused." And Chad Gable said that he has an explanation. Well, then I want to hear it. And then Bronson Reed comes out. Bronson Reed is like, "Hey, my guy, you don't need to worry about Chad Gable. You need to worry about me." He was like, "Oh, you want this? Anytime, any place, anywhere." He was like, "Bet." And then he leaves, and then of course he comes back, attacks Sami Zayn. Of course, Again, I always say the talent, the officials, don't do it, stop it, and of course he kind of stops it, but then boom, big splash, big resplash to Sammy. So that's going to be fun, baby. It's going to be good stuff. Speaking of good stuff, oh, my boy Chad Gable. Oh, he is hilarious. He came out with the Alpha Academy, and woo, that is tough. He came out, he was like, hey, Sami Zayn won, no problem. It was what it was. He got the best of me, no problem. But he did a couple mistakes. First, he lays the title right in front of my face after he beats me. Rubbing the salt in the wound. He tries to shake my hand, I shake it, I raise his hand, no problem. Cool. And then I go to leave, he's just flailing around, and then he does it in front of his wife, and I lost it. It's like that should have been me. That should have been me with my wife. And I'm mad. He's like, and then he goes, I had to bring it out for this one. He said, I'm tired of, turning these ungrateful losers. And then everybody in the background was like, oh, he's talking about us. And he was like, and he doubled down. Huh? He goes to Tozawa. Oh, Tozawa. Yeah, you think you're a little funny man doing a little dance, going like that, when you racking loss after loss after loss after loss. Oh, Maxine, sweet Maxine. He said, "Oh, you're pretty as a princess, but dumb as a bag of rocks." That's dumb. Oh, he said, "Oh man, but dumb as a bag of rocks." How you gonna play my girl Maxine like that? Oh, he said, "You're a loser." He said, "Oh, don't get me started on this." And the crowd's, oh this. He's like, my number one guy, my number one people, biggest disappointment that I ever had. Oh, big man, you're a big man for nothing. You're here losing this loser, double loser, something, whatever he said. Oh, he was ripping them to shreds. Oh God, it was like, but that's okay. That's why you came to me because you were losers and you need training from me. So now it's gonna be a different thing. No more games, no more playing around. We're gonna be serious now. I'm like, okay. It's like the first step of business is to help me win back my Intercontinental Championship, even though he was never Intercontinental Champion. So I don't. Maybe he said something else, but he said basically he's gonna help him win the Intercontinental title. It's like everybody hear me, huh? Otis, I didn't hear what say it. Say it again. Like, yes, bitch. I was like, damn, tough. That was great. So pretty much what's gonna happen is like he's gonna say fuck the Academy, and he's gonna get the Creeds. The Creeds gonna take him out, and that's what's gonna happen. That was tough. So then they go backstage, and JD McDonough is Ricochet has like an interview. He was like, "Hey, we already handled them before. I got my boy Andrade. We good." And then Dominic Mysterio comes up, and he was like, "Oh, you lucky. I got one arm." He's like, "Oh, I wish you was in the match so I could beat you up." Oof, but I get to do that in another time. Santos is gonna be just as good. I was like, "Yeah, we'll see about that." And then he's talking trash, and then he turns around. Watch me. Liv Morgan is right there in front of his face. I was like, oh, is that what we doing? Okay, that's what we doing. That's what we. Okay, I like it. It's gonna be good stuff. Hey, Judgment Day is already crumbling. Speaking of crumbling, Ricochet and Andrade versus JD McDonough, Santos Escobar. Just take a guess of who won this match. It's Ricochet and Andrade, of course they did. Um, what happened? I don't. There might. I think. My boy. Dom got involved a little bit in the thing. I think they hit the. Oh, they called his Andrade's new move, the twisting neckbreaker thing. They called it the. It was a different name from because they used to call it the message, and I was like, the message is a stupid name. They should call it something else. And they did, and it was a way better name than that. I forgot what they called it. I'm going to look real quick to see if I can find it because I wrote it down. It was like called the. I don't remember what it's called. I'm going to try real quick to see if. I'm not going to remember. The. I wanted to say the haunting, but I don't think that's. Um, um, na 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 na. I'm gonna look real quick to see if I can find what I wrote it down as. Um, but I don't see it, so it is what it is. But it was a different name than the message, and that name was way better than what it was. But anyways, final stuff is the um the actual women's battle royal for the title, and I said it earlier. The winner was Becky Lynch. She does like a backstage promo. There's a whole bunch of crazy stuff that's going on backstage, and I think Livin. Somebody was Maxine was being consoled by Ivy because she just got torn to rip a new one from Chad Gable. I think Candice and Indy were doing an interview, and they were saying, "Hey, we win him, so that's all that matters." And then commotion was going on. It was Liv and Nia Jax. They were arguing with each other, and then Becky was like, "Hey, you got a lot on your hands, love. Let me take that from you and alleviate the pain, the stress." So she takes the mic and she's walking. She's like, "Oh, it's already crazy. This battle royal is going to be battle royaling." And so she starts to walk a little bit, and then she sees Maxine. She was like, "Hey, don't worry about what anybody says to you. You're doing great. You go out there in that battle royal, and you show why you belong." Which kind of gave her, which gave her a smile. That gave everybody a smile. So got a nice clap from her. So everybody's behind Maxine during this whole thing. It's like, hey, it's time for him to win this title. So her music comes out, big, big, big energy from her. Nia Jax taking out everybody. She took out, I think, like 5 or 6 people. There was a spot where, of course, Maxine Dupree has been having her issues with Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae. Maxine took out Candice and Indy, which was good for her. I don't know if that's going to be the end of it, but that's a nice little bow for Maxine, especially after what just happened with Chad Gable saying you're a loser, dumb as a bag of bricks, and all this you can't wrestle stuff. So that was her. I think she even said, "Ha, that shows you, Coach Gable," stuff like that. So that was good. Jax eliminated Maxine Dupree. I think she because there was a thing where Maxine was in front of Nia, and Nia was like, "This girl right here." So she was getting a little bit of offense on Nia. The crowd was like, "Okay, we got you," and then she eliminated her. It was like, "Damn, tough." I think she also eliminated Ivy Nile. I think she eliminated uh, Piper Niven. I think she Becky went on the bottom under the bottom rope, and then I think Nia eliminated Piper Niven, and then she took Piper Niven and try to slam her on. She tried to do like a choke slam thing on Becky, but the table didn't break. And then she hoisted her up to do a Samoan drop. Table still didn't break. Meanwhile, you go to the back or then the ring, and Natalia eliminates Chelsea Green, but everybody's worried about what just happened, so nobody kind of noticed. So so Chelsea was like, so she gets back on the apron. She starts. We're like, oh my god, what are you doing? So they're like, so they look at Chelsea was like, get back in the ring. She was like, get back in the. All right, you got it. That was hilarious. But then she ended up getting eliminated anyway. But that was really funny. The crowd was behind Chelsea after that. Like they was cheering for Chelsea. They wanted her to win. Um, so that was good stuff. Liv was eliminating people. I think Nia got the most eliminations. So in the end, it was just the three of them. Cause who's the fourth one eliminated? I don't remember. But they thought it was them two. Cause it was three. It was her. It was Liv, Nia, somebody else. I already don't remember. But then Becky comes back, and I was like, oh yeah, Liv, you got this, easy money. But then so they both eliminated Nia. But then it was Liv and Becky, and then Becky had Liv over the top rope, but Becky went through the second rope, but I was like, no, she's not gonna win, and then she didn't. But it was fun. It was what it was. Um, so my taking is, man, I want to Liv to win so much, but it's kind of understandable why she didn't win. They want when I guess the thing is when you want somebody to win, you want them to actually win. You don't want them to win as in a battle royal. Becky's Becky, so her winning the battle royal is fine. Becky could win a battle royal. She could come back randomly and just obviously she came back randomly on SummerSlam and she won. So her winning in a battle royal doesn't really matter. So I think for Liv, who's come so like she come back at the Royal Rumble, she was final two. She comes the Elimination Chamber, she's final two. She's doing this revenge tour thing. Now she's doing this battle royal. She's final two again. And it's like, oh, how many times do I have to be final two? So now I think it's gonna be like now she's gonna be like, all right, I'm tired of being final two. I want my match. So maybe they might do it as quick as Backlash. They do Becky versus Liv. Liv pins Becky straight, clean. Maybe not clean, but she beats Becky. Takes it off of somebody credible instead of just winning it because of your revenge tour. So instead of her just winning it like a consolation prize, he beats Becky, who's the number one babyface right now in the company. Her and Bailey, her like female baby faces. She beats her. Now she's credible. So maybe that's what they were gonna. Maybe that's what they did. And if that's what they do, I hope that they bring Judgment Day to SmackDown. Honestly, honestly, you think they would give Jay Uso that world title? They put Judgment Day on SmackDown? Nah, because they would probably want Finn Balor. I don't know. I would say they might keep it on. I was going to say they might not. The way that uh, Damian Priest came after that match. He was chokeslamming everybody, beating up everybody. He was talking to Dom in Spanish. Dom was mad, and then JD was like, "What'd he say?" And then Priest was like, "You want to know what I said?" I said, "I don't need the Judgment Day. The Judgment Day needs me." So maybe there's like, hey, they want to help him out, but they're not going to help him out because they're trying to play him. Maybe they get Jay Uso. They take his win, give it to Jay Uso. Jay Uso is popular, number one babyface right now on Raw. Not named CM Punk, but CM Punk's not really there. Jay Uso, they give him the top title, maybe, or either that or he wins and then he feuds with Finn Balor. But it'll be interesting to see what would happen if Jay did win. if they're doing Sheamus and him, well, I would, because I would expect Jay not to keep it for long. Maybe at like Clash at the Castle, like they do Jay and him at Clash at the Castle for the title, and Drew wins. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but that was the show. I give the show like a B plus. I thought it was fine. Becky winning wasn't my favorite, but I understand why they did it. Damian Priest is just getting mad at everybody in the Judgment Day. It's good stuff. Chad Gable just laying it on everybody's good stuff. Tag team match was good. We're about to get a new Tommaso Ciampa. It was just like everybody was in their feelings on this show. Everybody was mad at everything, and I love it. Good wrestling, solid wrestling, not crazy over the top. Oh my god, this is crazy wrestling, but it was good wrestling nonetheless. Good stories nonetheless, and getting ready for the draft tonight is NXT. My boy Whoop That Trick is about to get that title. Ilya Dragunov is about to be on the main roster. And so is Carmelo Hayes. And we like those. What do you guys think of the show? Let me know in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out.